Thank you for tuning in to another episode of WC Fits. Today, we are going to be going over something new and different for us. This is Ian's driver shaft that he's testing out. This is a TPT Nitro. Okay.
15 low.
15 low. So, Mr. Ian, let's start off and let's just have you hit the thing. You should show this thing on camera because it does look pretty cool. Oh, here, give me it. I'll show it to him. You just look at the logo and stuff.
Oh, you like the logo?
It does. It looks pretty good. I'll give it to him. It looks like a premium product.
It is the thinnest amount of paint on a shaft because it's unnecessary weight. So
there it is.
It's not like the paint's actually not to make it pretty. It's just to protect the graphite, and it's very thin layer.
Mm-hmm. So let's see what this is. Now we have adjusted the driver a little bit in theory because you would have to set it up a little bit different from the normal 1K orange that you play. Let's go ahead, let's dive in, let's hit some shots. Let's see.
Okay, we'll just hit one first. Also, it's Steeler colors just for you.
Well, go Bird, baby. We're gonna win the Super Bowl this year.
Don't you say that every year?
I didn't say it last year.
So the whole thing about this shaft is that it's one-piece carbon, like no stops or starts anywhere like a normal shaft. It's all one piece, start to finish, just making it a lot more, what would you say?
So I guess what you would say is that lets them, one, be incredibly precise with how and where they're putting things, but then also less potential failure points, right? Less windows potentially mess something up. So,
from my experience, I hit the center of the face more often. But again, I've only tried it out like twice and played with it twice so far this year.
Now, it definitely, because I was swinging it a little bit, you've swung it a little bit obviously as well. Feels a little bit different than what we're both used to feeling.
Like that was a toe hit.
Right down the middle.
Again, normally it helps me hit the center of the face, but I'm also talking and not focused on swinging.
It's all right. It could be worse. I mean, so after playing a couple rounds with it, just talk us a little bit through it. Tell us kind of what your experience has been, man.
The reason I looked into the shaft is because it gave me a little more height when I tried it out with my instructor. And my instructor and I don't like to, I used to be getting like 5 up on a driver. And that's not sustainable for the most part when it comes to me. But
So you speak for yourself.
I know. For me. So with my shaft, I'm trying to get like 1 to 0, and it only goes like 80 feet in the air. I mean, yes, it's straight, it's a bullet, but it's like I could use a little extra height just for a little extra carry.
Do you feel like there's a level of control there, or?
Height-wise, yeah.
Okay, good.
When I played the last 2 days, let's actually hit a good one though. Where'd that go? Right. Like, that's fine.
A little fadey.
Yeah, I did get the spin though. So was that one.
Let's pay attention to where you're striking it.
Yeah, a little off. Again, this driver likes to go a little right for me on a miss. And I think that is because it's a little softer than the 1K. So, overall, it feels great. Like, I think.
So, this would be the question of questions.
Yeah.
Right? Got this. Again, kind of on a whim. Wanted to try something out, right?
Yeah.
Literally the exact same thing I did when I got the Axiom iron shaft for the 2-iron, right? I have loved the transition into that, right? And that is solidly staying in the bag, so much so that more of them might end up in the bag eventually, right? Do you think long term this is going to be the gamer, Or you have to do a little more testing still?
We have to do more testing because we put the tracer on. Like the miss is just this right shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I just have to set up something different with the head.
I think what you got to do is get it, like I said, in that you have to feel like you're in that higher toe window.
Yeah, the higher toe, which isn't bad.
Well, that's
so
why
right now I'm just a little low center.
And that's again, you have to. I think you have to be on the top part of the club face for this guy to really function.
Like that.
Which actually, super interestingly enough, right? Yeah. So good strike for, again, what we're kind of thinking.
I just blocked it a bit.
A little bit of blocky. Let's see what the. Yeah.
I mean, like
that's less movement.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel like I'm losing control with it, even though it's softer and lighter. Even like that's TPT's whole thing: lighter, a little softer to get more club head speed, and the whole way they make it is so you hit center more often. Mm-hmm. And when I played the last 2 days, I did not miss the center much. Mm-hmm. Like there's lines over here, I was never on those lines.
Well, there you go.
But I tried to hit that high toe, like you said.
Yeah, we got to experiment a little bit with it, you know? Also, change the weight up a little bit in the club head for you.
Yeah, it swung weight E1, which is a little too heavy.
It's a lot too heavy for a driver.
Like, there you go. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We need to get you just ever so slightly in what I call quadrant 1 on that screen.
Because, like, those numbers are perfect. And that's, go back to the tracer. Because what I want is a little more height, and it gives me a little more carry. A
little more height, but really good landing angle still, because it got your launch up.
Yeah,
that's
and
really
the spin rate's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Got no problems with that golf shot.
And I do notice that I get like a mile per hour quicker club head speed with this thing over my 1K.
Yeah, and
yes,
again,
it's a half inch longer than my 1K.
But it's also
a little lighter.
Lighter is going to be the main thing there.
Yeah.
We've seen in the past when we go lighter with you, swing speed can get a bit silly at times.
But it goes
doesn't necessarily always translate to ball speed.
No.
However, swing speed gets there.
But it goes when we go lighter with me, it goes right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a thing that I think we can figure out. Overall, it feels fine.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't see where the ball's going.
Right down the pipe.
That was literally toe. So
yeah, big toe ball. But again, if it's a toe ball,
it was really toe.
And if it's above the equator, it is.
Oh no, it was over there.
That's the thing.
My bad.
For you, I think that's the secret. We just have to make sure that this club sits
in that quadrant.
Just above the equator. Yeah. I think your best shots for what you're trying to do are going to come from that first quadrant, so ever so slightly in the toe section, right? That like good high toe, if you will.
Yeah.
But it just needs to be above the equator of the golf club here.
Oh, there we go. Just dead straight.
Mm-hmm. And I'm willing to bet that was also, from a strike
felt
perspective,
like above the equator,
where I need it.
But yeah, like that's what I'm trying to do right there. Oh, it's slightly toe.
Totally.
It felt more above the equator. But so from someone who likes to heel it, like me, I can't heel it with this golf shot.
Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, though, right? Talking about feedback.
It's a little spotty at times.
Yeah, that's the interesting kind of portion of this thing. You know, and you paid for this. This was not provided or anything. This was, again, literally just...
I got to hit a long driver, guys, but his play driver had this. Mm-hmm. And it was nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, just different window.
Yeah.
What's actually super interesting about this is...
Like, that was me leaning on it a little bit.
I actually forgot about that. The whole long drive thing.
Yeah.
And everything that we're talking about makes perfect sense for a long drive guy.
Yeah.
Because a long drive guy wants to live on the top part of the club face because you're going to automatically get less spin.
He wants it lighter.
And a long drive guy wants as light as possible.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it's a really good long drive driver shaft.
So that felt more inside strike.
And that pattern would suggest.
Well, from where I'm trying to hit it.
Lower and inside compared to where you've been, yeah. Because that's the other thing. From just watching you and hearing you describe this thing, I do feel like this shaft has adjusted and changed the center of gravity in the club head.
Yeah.
Honestly, fairly substantially. To a point where I think it will take you a little bit to adjust to understanding, I guess, feedback better.
But
know?
if I could do that every time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's perfect.
That was a good drive.
Like, that's what we're aiming for. But it's the right miss I can't live with right now.
That's the money ball right there.
Yeah.
So, we've got this section, which is really good.
Yeah. I mean, it's great.
We just don't like these.
That's what I found on the course. Is like I can't play with that.
Well,
40-yard slice.
Here's an interesting one, right? Because how often has the big miss showed up for you on the course?
With this one, more often.
More often than you're used to, because we did kind of set up with the orange to
an anti-big miss.
Basically, yeah. Like even on the misses, it should go.
It shouldn't go more than 30 yards.
In a relatively predictable window. Yeah. Right?
Like my right to left, or my landing strip should be about 60 yards left, or 30 and 30.
Yeah. Just of center.
Yeah.
Right? In the shape.
Favoring the right side, maybe like 20-40. But.
Yeah. But I was going to say, even a fairly predictable shape as well, because this also isn't one that you're going to turn over very easily, and you can kind of get into.
No, like technically it's still 60 yards from left to right, but it's too far right.
Yeah. It took basically your whole pattern and moved it from here to there, Yeah,
like it's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Just a different thing.
We just got to figure out how to get it left. Because that's just right rough, but that might be trees rough, actually.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, that's like 40 yards.
That would be around a 40, maybe 50-yard miss.
Yeah. But again, like the club speeds up, the ball speeds up. Well, the ball speed's kind of similar. The spin's perfect, the height's up. It's just where the center line is.
Yeah, it's what it is it's having a good feeling of club head control, club face control.
I feel like I do. Like I don't hit it left.
No, but I bet your face has been consistently a touch open.
Yeah. All day. But again, it just feels pretty smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do that every time, I'm living happy.
You're good. Because that is the end shot right there.
Yeah.
Just a tiny little
cut. Yeah, perfect.
That's actually the best way to put it. Yeah. You know what I haven't seen you hit yet with this?
It's a left shot.
I haven't seen you hit a pull cut.
I don't really hit pull cuts anymore. My path with this.
But if you remember, this was the one where we were trying to set up a pull cut.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, with my attack angle now leveling off with this driver, it's kind of just 0 now. Mm-hmm. It's not 3 left anymore.
I got you. That makes sense then.
So. I mean, overall, it needs more testing, but it feels good.
It's doing as described.
Yeah.
It's an interesting little piece of kit, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, stay tuned, guys, because we'll
come back.
We'll see what's going on, and there's going to be updated what's in the bags for myself and Ian very soon, and we'll see which one actually makes the cut for the what's in the bag video.
Yeah.
So, stay tuned. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thank you.